I knew this was going to happen. I called it in a previous video. The New York State Attorney General, Letitia James, recused herself in the criminal investigation beating death of Messiah Nantwi. It has been punted to William Fitzpatrick, the Onondaga County DA. Also in this video, watch to the end to learn if there is body cam footage. You'll be shocked. This first article is from Spectrum News, New York 1. New York Attorney General's office to recuse itself from Mid-State Correctional death probe, names Onondaga County DA Special Prosecutor. New York Attorney General Letitia James says her Office of Special Investigation will recuse itself from further investigation of the correctional officers related to the death of an inmate at Mid-State Correctional Facility in Oneida County, her office announced Thursday. Messiah Nantwi, 22, was pronounced dead at Wynn Hospital in Utica on Saturday. The state attorney general's office had opened a preliminary assessment into his death. The State Department of Corrections and Community Supervision, DOCS, placed 15 individuals on leave in connection to the incident. Mid-State Correctional is located across the street from Marcy Correctional Facility, where authorities say the use of force by correction officers led to the death of Robert Brooks in December. 6 prison workers have been charged with murder in that case. Similar to the case with Brooks' death, the AG's office filed a motion in Onondaga County Supreme Court requesting to appoint a special prosecutor to take over the probe, and the court has granted the motion. This was something that I said was going to happen. The New York State Attorney General, Letitia James, had to recuse itself from the prosecution, from the investigation of the Messiah Nantwi murder. This means that her office is representing other correctional officers and staff in civil cases. This has been an ongoing pattern of correctional officers brutalizing inmates, correctional officers being sued civilly, and the office of the New York State Attorney General is representing those correctional officers. We knew this was going to happen for everyone connected to what's happening in the dock system. We knew that upon further deaths of other incarcerated individuals, she is going to have to recuse herself because there are patterns of these officers committing these heinous acts. Let's go back to the article. Similar to the case with Brooks' death, the AG's office filed a motion in Onondaga County Supreme Court requesting to appoint a special prosecutor to take over the probe, and the court has granted that motion. Also, like the Brooks case, Onondaga County District Attorney William Fitzpatrick has been appointed as special prosecutor. Fitzpatrick, a registered Republican, was first elected Onondaga County DA in 1991 and was reelected to a ninth term in 2023. So we know William Fitzpatrick, this is his last term. He's on his way out. Whether he's going to seek justice, we know, or my opinion is that he's not going to seek justice. I think what we'll see is something similar to the indictments in the Robert Brooks murder. Back to the article. As per a state law passed in 2020, the New York Attorney General's office is required to investigate any incident in which a member of law enforcement is reported to have caused the death of a person by act or omission. The office conducted standard checks as that law stipulates to obtain the video footage and identify the officers involved. I want to pause it for a second. There was one thing that I just realized. This is different than the Robert Brooks murder because initially, when this came out, Letitia James dragged her feet. She dragged her feet. She initially said she was going to seek justice for the Robert Brooks family And then it took X number of days or weeks for her office to recuse herself. I believe that recusal happened December 28th. I believe there was a public statement from the office of Letitia James on December 16th. Correct me if I'm wrong. But you see here in the case of the beating death of Messiah Nantwi, just several days after this happened, she immediately recused herself. So she must have learned something. Back to the article. During the preliminary investigation, when the correction officers involved in the events preceding Nantwi's death were identified, the AG's Office of Special Investigation confirmed that four of those correction officers are defendants in other matters where they are or were represented by attorneys in the AG's Office State Counsel Division. The conflict of interest is similar to the Brooks investigation. The State Counsel Division will not be representing docs or any correction officers in the district attorney's investigation, the AG's office said. There have been 7 deaths of incarcerated individuals across the state since the strike by correction officers began more than 2 weeks ago, according to docs. Also, I promised to speak about whether there was body cam video in the beating death of Messiah Nantwi. I found an article that speaks on this. This article is from CNY Central by Matthew Benninger. Court document says there's body cam video of investigation into mid-state inmate death. Marcy, New York. There is body cam footage of the incident at Mid-State Correctional Facility that caused the death of 22-year-old inmate Messiah Nantwi. That's according to a document filed in the Supreme Court of Onondaga County. The document filed by Assistant Attorney General Gregory S. Oakes of the Office of Attorney General Letitia James. The court document stated, I am an attorney licensed to practice law in the state of New York and serve as an assistant attorney in the office of the Attorney General of the state of New York. I affirm the following under the penalties of perjury, and I make the following statements based on my personal knowledge and upon information and belief, the sources of which are conversations and communications with members of the New York State Police, the New York State Department of Corrections and Community Supervision, DOCS, the Onondaga County Medical Examiner's Office, and the Office of the Attorney General, and upon evidence in possession of law enforcement, including body-worn camera, video, and reports and memoranda written by correction officers. The document also stated that there is probably cause to believe that as many as 9 correction officers caused the death of Messiah Nantwi or committed acts that contributed thereto and thereby committed a crime. It noted that 5 of those officers are or have been represented by the Attorney General in civil lawsuits against them. The full court document is posted below. For those of you who want to dig deeper and see the document itself, I will have a link to the article where you can click on that link and see the actual memorandum that was produced. So there you have it. For those of you who have been following cases of beating deaths and atrocities committed by correction officers, we are not surprised. Many of us knew the office of Letitia James was going to recuse itself because she's representing officers in civil cases. That's not a big shocker, considering the pattern of abuse, the pattern of beatings that have occurred by the hands of correction officers. Also, finally, we know that there is body-worn camera evidence. I am sure that many individuals in the press have submitted Freedom of Information Act FOIA requests to get copies of this. Most likely, this will be released to the media, some version of it. It might be redacted, might be edited, but some version of the body-worn camera evidence will be produced. I want to see it. The public wants to see this. If you found value in this video, consider joining Critical Conversations and becoming a member. We have 2 membership tiers, both of which are less than the price of a cup of Starbucks coffee. Very inexpensive, and that allows you exclusive member-only live streams for the first tier happening once a month, and for the second tier happening twice a month. If not, no worries. What you can do to support the channel: like the video, comment in the video, share the video, and if you are not already, become a subscriber. My goal is to give you honest and direct feedback and dig deeper than what the mainstream media is telling you. Thank you. Take care. God bless. See you next time.